All right, so we have the let's start again. We have the alchemist coming up for you as your underlying energy, and yeah, that's the magician. Um, what do we say about the magician? He has the knowledge, right? He's got the knowledge. He's got his little book there. He's got all the tools that he needs. Does he have the confidence to use what he wants? The alchemist or the magician is the first card of the major arcana. This is where the journey truly begins. With the fool, that's just the decision to, take that leap of faith to begin. But this is where we look in our toolkit and think, okay, what have I got to work with? You can make this path, you can make this journey into whatever you want it to be. Now, yeah, he's seen as the master manifestor, and I haven't really been talking about that aspect for a while because I believe we all are master manifestors. We're co-creators, right? But a lot of the times what we come up against is, even if we know what to do, even if we know what we want, all of that kind of stuff, how do we have the confidence to use it? And that's the kind of point here. Do we have the confidence to use it? I mean, it's a very powerful energy to have as your underlying energy for the week. When we have two kind of beginnings, I kind of feel like you've started something. Let's just go with that. I'll get to that in a moment. With the Ace of Pentacles coming up, you've started something. You've started laying the foundation. And this could be last week, last month, last year. Something that was started, but I don't know if it got anywhere fast. Maybe it's floundering, like you're at that beginning stage. I mean, if it's work, right? You've started the job, but you haven't kind of gotten into your groove yet there. Or, you had this great idea for a business. You've started putting together a business plan and stuff, but you haven't acted on it. There's something that was begun in relationship even. Maybe there's a connection, right? And you've decided, okay, I'm going to get serious, or I'm going to commit to this person, because Pentacles are tangible representations of security and stability. Now, what does that mean? That means things that we can see, feel, and touch. It's earth energy. It's the physical. It's not like Wands, which is fire energy, which is, passion, creativity, that kind of energy. Or air, which is thoughts and beliefs and communication, or words, right? Or even water, which is emotions. No, this is tangible. That's earth energy. What can I see? What can I feel? What can I own? What is mine? What am I building, physically building? That's the Ace of Pentacles. Something was begun here, though. But it kind of feels like, I don't know. With this card coming up, there seems to be a question mark over confidence. Do I know enough to do this? Do I have the tools to do this? And it might, like I said, it could be anything here with these energies that come up, with work, with relationships, whatever you're using this for. Now, the problem here, and this kind of backs up the lack of confidence thing that's kind of coming up. So this week is about getting your confidence. It's not about having lack of confidence. We have choices here. So we have the Nine of Swords coming up at the heart of your reading. And the Nine of Swords, it's stress, it's worry, it's anxiety, right? Maybe, you kind of started this off. And the thing is, why I think it's a great thing, whatever it is that you've started, it's Pentacles. Pentacles are solid. They're slow, though. So maybe things are going too slowly. Well, they pick up, so don't worry about that. But, maybe it's going too slowly, or you're not getting, it's not about getting the returns. That's more Seven of Pentacles. This would be, you've just started. You've literally just started. And it's like, well, is anything even happening with this? If you were to plant a seed, this would be like the day after you've planted the seed and nothing's coming up. Nothing's coming up. Now think about it. If you've ever tried to grow like cress, that shoots up pretty quickly, right? But if you're trying to grow a tree, that's going to take a little longer to kind of sprout up and to grow into something. That's the Ace of Pentacles. This is the tree. This is the mighty oak tree, because Pentacles lead to the Ten of Pentacles, which is our legacy. Something that has the ability or the potential to stand the test of time. But my lovely Leos, please look at the Nine of Swords here. Why are you worried about this? I get it. No one wakes up and just thinks, oh, I'd love to be stressed out today. Let's just have a few sleepless nights. This sounds great. It's not that. I know there's something that's triggered this. I kind of believe it's the lack. Maybe it's the speed at which it's going, or the lack of speed rather. And that's making you doubt your confidence. Or do I know enough? Do I have enough? But no, it's about getting back into that. It's assuring you have the knowledge, you have the tools, you've had a good start here. Whatever this anxiety is, and it could be something completely different. I mean, you might have started this. Somebody else could be interfering. Anything could be going on here. Maybe you need help, whatever it is. It's not really specifically saying. But the Nine of Swords very clearly says that the more you kind of mull over this and go over and over and over it, it just gets bigger and bigger, and it seems worse than it actually is. I actually really love your reading, because if you have a look at these powerful, beautiful energies. I mean, the Ace of Pentacles, that is the minor arcana version of the Sun for me. You know, I love it. Out of all the aces, this is my favorite ace, because it has the staying power. It's so solid and so amazing, and the potential for abundance from this is great. But it's this, that's at the heart of your reading, that's your focus. But this says things are not as bad as they seem. And the counter to the Nine of Swords, because swords are all about our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them, right? And yet the Nine of Swords, there is no communication, because all of that crap is just going round and round in our heads, right? So my solution to this is always get it out, purge it, say it to someone. Oftentimes just saying it to someone is enough for us to think, what? Why am I thinking this? What is, this isn't right. But it becomes, that loop in our heads, and we can't see anything outside of that. Now, where does this lead? What can we shake up here? What's going to change all of this? Injecting some fun. If you guys follow me on Instagram or Facebook, then you kind of know that I've been all about this guy's energy recently. Prince of Wands, that's the Knight of Wands. I think he has a really bad reputation. I mean, yeah, on the negative side, and I'm not really getting any of that here. Well, I don't know, actually. That just kind of came through for someone. All right, I'll get to that in just a moment. But the Knight of Wands, he has a bad reputation because he's unreliable, right? He's unreliable. He can be the one night stand. Because he's just there for the fun, He's there for fun. He's there for excitement. He's there for that. And I did get one specific story that came through. I'll just say that because the overall energy is not this. But if I hear or see specific stories, I say them. This is something I think you committed to someone, and now you're kind of worried that, they're off having fun, or they're not as committed as you, if this is a relationship reading for you. But you can worry about it, or you can have the confidence to communicate about it. Courage. It's going to take courage and confidence. Look at the two things that are on either end bookending this. Confidence and courage to communicate. But that's very specific, and that might just be for one person who needs to hear it. Overall, though, the energy is, I believe, especially because it's sat underneath the Magician, right? The Magician's about manifestation, getting what you want. The Alchemist can turn base metals into gold. He can have wherever he wants. How does he do that? Go in a different direction. Go in a different direction. I mean, when we start something, take it from me. I know, I've done a lot of freelance work, working for myself, working for corporations, whatever. It can start off, looks good, money's good, all of that. But at some point, there can be a lot of stress, a lot of worry that, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Is it fulfilling? Find the fun. This is what the Prince of Wands does. He finds the fun. He's in it for the experience. And that's why I've been rocking this guy recently. And I've talked about him. I talked about him on Facebook actually last week. Because he's in it for the experience. And if it's not fun, he's going to go do something else. Now, I know that sounds, wow, that's unreliable. I have to pay the bills, Jay. I have to do this. And I can't just leave my partner and go find something. It doesn't say that, guys. That's not what I'm saying with this guy. What I'm saying is, you are fire. This is fire energy. What does that mean? That's your creativity. That's your passion. There's fire coming in here. I mean, that's the card for Leo. That's your card. Wands, more fire. This. I know you're trying to build something, and Earth is great for that. But you are a fire sign. You're not doing this. This is that air energy, that logical head of. This is like, screw it. I'm just going to go do what I want to do. I'm just going to go in there and wow them with my project. I'm just going to go and tell this person, look, we dating, or let's go have some fun. It's great. We've moved in together, or, we've been dating, or you're my girlfriend now or my boyfriend now, but we still need some fun. Let's spice things up in the bedroom. Let's go out on a date. Let's do something. It's that. That's what I mean. Inject that into this. You don't have to go roaming around finding other stuff. Because whatever this, it's, to get sustainability in anything, and you see it with me in my readings, to have sustainability, you can't get stuck doing the same thing, all the time. And that's what people, I get it. People love my weekly readings that I do. But can you imagine if this was all I did every single, there was nothing else that I did. I didn't shake things up. I didn't have my own life. I didn't have hobbies or interests or energies that I place. Do you see what I mean? Even the most fulfilling job that you ever do, or relationship that you have, that could be your person. That's your person. That's your person for life. But if you can't express the fun, if you can't express your creativity, if you can't express your passion, yeah, that's going to like, that starts kind of eating away at you. And that kind of feels like what's happening here. So tap back into your fire energy. You guys bring that fire. You guys bring the fire. And look at this. Once you bring the fire into it, what happens? Everything speeds up. Everything speeds up. That's like the injection of energy that was needed. This is the traveler. This is the explorer. He goes out on a new adventure. This is not about doing things someone else's way. I'm going to tell you that now. This is about doing things your own way. And I don't care what age you are. It's about tapping into that kind of, that youthful hope and exuberance and let's do this and I'm going to have some fun. I don't care if you've been married for 20 years. I don't care if you've been in that job 30 years and you're planning on retiring from there. Something needs to be shaken up. There has to be some kind of spice added to this, as my trainer would say. So we have the 8 of Wands coming up as your future energy. And that's things picking up. And this might be communication. And this might, like I said, it's a great counter to this. Thoughts in the head. This is like, no, this is saying it. And things get cleared up. I know Mercury's retrograde and everyone's kind of going, no, what the hell? But, you know, things do get cleared up with the 8 of Wands. It takes confidence and it takes courage. That's the option here, guys. You know, you have great energies coming in. Your advice is courage. Have that courage, inner courage. You don't have to go and attack anyone. That's why I kind of feel this is very kind of, it's that inner passion, finding the passion within yourself. Because it's not boredom that's coming up. It's stress. So, you know, while that tree is growing, let's go do something else. Let's go put a paddling pool at the end of the garden, or let's go do something like, you know, it's that. That's what it is. Injecting some fun back into it, and you guys bring that. It's you guys that bring that. I know he gets a really bad reputation, but I love this guy. I love him. You know, any vibration can be used for the higher or the lower element of it. I mean, this guy, he manipulates energy, right? He manipulates energy, and that's great. You know, he uses the knowledge that he has and the tools that he has. But he can also be a master manipulator. He can get what he wants by manipulating people into doing what he wants. So, you know, there are no good cards or bad cards. It's how we choose to use the energy, which is why my readings always are quite positive, because that's how I treat my life. No matter what's happening, I'm going to use that energy to the best use that I can make of it. I'm just not going to sit there and let it beat me. You know, I say the energies are like a whip. Either we can use that whip to clear a path and move forward, or we can stand in front of the whip and let it whip the shit out of us. And I'm not about that life. Neither are you, apparently. So we have strength. That's your card, guys. Let's get you some oracle cards. I actually like this. I don't know if you could tell that energy kind of sped up as I was reading it, and I got to this bit as well. Let this happen. You've got a good foundation here. But, you know, we can get too serious sometimes. And it's your season, Leo. Come on. Listen with your heart. You are listening to what is being said to you, but need to listen with a loving heart. And, you know, think about it. With the Nine of Swords, that's not listening with your heart at all. That's trying to figure it out. And this could be trying to think, why are they doing that? What's happening here? Why is this not growing faster? What are they? It's trying to figure out what someone else or another, what's going on in a situation, right? And you obviously don't know. And when we get into that situation, that's our fears. You know, that little voice of fear will come up and start trying to tell you, well, this, that, and the other. And what I think of fear is it always tries to keep us safe. It always tries to keep us safe. But we're not in any danger. That's the whole point. It's like an overbearing parent who's like, no, don't do that. You can't do this. And yeah, they hate you, or blah, blah, blah. You're never going to succeed. It's that kind of a voice. But it's doing that to stop you from getting hurt, believe it or not. But you're not in danger. You have confidence and you have strength. It's just we feel it. It's because we don't want to be rejected, or we don't want to fail, or we don't want to, all of those things. And when you realize none of that can really hurt you, that the whole point of whatever it is you're doing, that's the Knight of Wands, right? Is the experience. How are you experiencing this? I mean, it might be £1 million or dollar business that you're creating, but if it's going to destroy you on the inside to do it, is it worth it? If it's going to cost you everything, that some people might say, yeah. But that then sounds, they wouldn't be in this situation. They'll just go and get it done. But if it's causing you this much stress, this is about reevaluating. So I need some more fun in this situation. All right. Yeah. So we have Imagine. They both look really similar, don't they? So we have Imagine. Now, Imagine is about turning your imagination, what you're trying to manifest, right? Very much alchemist energy. And we can have, I mean, this person's not imagining anything. They're imagining the worst. They're imagining the worst, right? This is not about that. Imagine says the dream. What's your dream? Let your imagination run wild and think of that stuff. Because at the moment, this thinking, that's just taking you round and round. Just taking you round and round. And now you might feel like you're just going round and round. You might think, well, you know, I'm doing everything that I can. I'm trying to create this relationship, create this job, create this business, whatever it is. Trying to do all of this. And I just feel like I'm going round and round and round. But the other message from round and round is sometimes when you're going round and round, you're actually spiraling up. So you are ascending. You are moving towards success. But it takes longer, right, than if you just went straight up. Ace of Pentacles. You're building it slowly. You're going through every single motion that you need to go through. All right, what else did I need? Oh, postcards from the Spirit. It says, dearest you, if you allow your awareness to settle in, you will hear us whispering sweetness and encouragement to you. You will know the truth of things that cannot be discerned through the material world. And that's just it. This is the material world, right? And yeah, you know, I get told that all the time. I need to pay bills. You know, I might be a spiritual being. I might be a soul, but I live in a world where food costs money and I've got rent to pay and stuff. True. But this is easier to do when you tap into your innate energy, which is fire, right? And it says, okay, here we go. You will know the truth of things that cannot be discerned through the material world. The receiver for this kind of essential knowing is your intuition, which is not your sixth sense, but your first, the primary navigational system of your soul. You are entering the age of consciousness. It's time to accept that the paranormal is normal. Human beings are multisensory, multidimensional beings. Spirit infuses all things, and your soul's job is to discover those essential truths here on earth, where we all agree to play. Today, trust your spidey sense, read between the lines. That's the 8 of Wands, right? You can always read between the lines there. Tune into the stories behind the stories, and your world will show you miracles. Fear not, we are right here and Spirit loves you. Trust the invisible. And guys, it's the experience, right? It's the experience. That's why he's here. And I didn't get any of that kind of unreliability, any of that from him. Not when he sat under the magician. Not when he sat there. He's telling you, come on, Leo, you know, let's go enjoy this. Let's go have some fun with this. Let's go do it our own way, you know, inject our own kind of level of creativity into this and passion into this. Let's show the world how bright we can shine. And I seem to remind fire signs of that, you know, every single day on Instagram, because sometimes it feels like you have to dim yourself to kind of fit into the material world, but you don't. You don't, you know. When you come from a place of passion, when you come from a place of excitement and enthusiasm, like, wow, what am I going to experience from this? It's amazing what you can achieve. And yeah, that's what picks things up. That's what opens up channels of communication, is when you do that, when you take it in your own way. You think, well, that is what I want to do. And people might tell you, look, that's not going to work, or that's not whatever. It's just, well, that's that. All they're saying to you, when someone tells you that's not going to work, or that's wrong, or whatever, all they're really saying to you is, I can't do that. That's the bottom line. That's what they're saying to you. I can't do that. Well, they may not be able to do it, but you can do that.